Hi, this is Rabbi Jeffrey Leynor. We're going to be continuing. This is the third part of our lesson about Jewish funeral practices. The initial period of mourning, Shiva, is the 7-day period, from the Hebrew word Sheva for 7, of intensive mourning observed by the immediate family of the deceased beginning on the day of the burial. You are not considered a mourner until after the burial. During the entire Shiva period, mourners are encouraged to stay away from work or school and to remain at home. It is also a time to contemplate the meaning of life and the manner in which adjustment will be made to the death of the beloved and how that changes your lives. Public mourning observances are suspended on the Shabbat in view of the belief that the sanctity and serenity of this day supersedes personal grief. Mourners are permitted and encouraged to attend the Sabbath services, but they're not given an aliyah, a calling up to the Torah, or conduct services. They do not display the Kriya. They do not display Kriya publicly. The major festivals terminate a Shiva. If someone dies and Passover is the next day, if somebody dies and they're buried and Passover begins the next day, Passover kind of truncates the rest of Shiva. Since Judaism teaches that the feeling of loss of human life is not limited to the descendant's family alone, but it's shared by the entire community, it is customary for the name of the deceased to be recalled at the Sabbath service after the funeral, and we have a minyan, we gather together, men and women, and we do the evening prayers, and that gives the mourners a chance to say the Kaddish, from the Hebrew word kadosh, holy or separate, and we'll get to that in a little bit. During the 30 days following the burial after the observance of Shiva, mourners return to work and activities but refrain from public entertainment or social activities. Now, if you are there's a wedding, let's say, after the death of somebody close, you can go to the wedding, and how much you celebrate really depends. I mean, each rabbi will tell you differently, but how much you celebrate really depends upon you, because it is a simcha, it is a happy occasion, and we have to balance these things. In place of home services, mourners participate in synagogue services daily and recite Kaddish. I, as a rabbi, because Kaddish does not come from the Torah or from biblical times, if somebody needs to say Kaddish, I let them say Kaddish if they're by themselves or if they're with people. A Shana in Hebrew is 12 months, a year, the duration of the mourning period. And mourners for deceased parents attend services they're supposed to. A lot of these things I am saying are telling you are traditionally what was done. Again, a lot of things will depend upon the interpretation of your rabbi and where you are spiritually in your lives. You usually recite Kaddish for 11 Hebrew months and continue to refrain from public celebratory activities for those 12 months. Other mourners often choose to say Kaddish during this period as well. Yahrzeit is what we call the anniversary of the death. Kaddish is recited each year on the Hebrew calendar anniversary of the death. It's customary to light a candle. I'm sure you have seen in the grocery store those candles in glasses with a little wick. That's a Yahrzeit candle, and they burn really for 24 hours. And to study a portion of the Torah or the Mishnah, and to donate to tzedakah, to charity, but to righteousness on the anniversary. You again consult your rabbi for the exact date and what things they feel are appropriate or inappropriate. Yizkor, from the Hebrew word zachor, memorial prayers. The Yizkor is recited on Yom Kippur, Shmini Atzeret, the 8th day of Passover, and the 2nd day of Shavuot. The rabbi should be consulted to determine when the first Yizkor is recited. Some Jews follow the custom of lighting a yahrzeit candle on each of these occasions, others only on Yom Kippur. This can be difficult bereavement-wise for some people, because in the Jewish calendar, the Hebrew calendar, you are kind of forced to remember 5 times during the year and light that yahrzeit candle and say the Yizkor prayer when it is said during the cycle of the year. But it really does help to connect with your feelings at those times. Now, if you have any well, before we get there, I'd like to read Kaddish to you, and again, I want to dispel some ideas about this prayer that are recent. This prayer was created originally to be said when you are finished studying. It's written in Aramaic. It does not come from biblical times. Right? It's probably about 500 years old. So when people were finished studying, they would say this prayer in Aramaic. Then when somebody, a Gedolei Hador, a brilliant person of their generation, a scholar from their generation died, then they would say it. Right? And then the public liked the prayer so much that it became part of Jewish ritual, became part of Jewish prayer. And I will tell you that the prayer says nothing about death. It says nothing about death. It has to do with, you understand that someone was taken from you who you love, and it's just declaring that you will not give up on life, you will not give up on love, and you will not give up on God. There are some erroneous things that people think. The idea of purgatory has come into Judaism in the Orthodox community, and they will tell you that the person's soul is in purgatory. The Jewish person's soul is in purgatory for the full 12 months, getting their sins burned off, I guess. And each time you say Kaddish, they ascend a level. This to me is nonsense. This was taken obviously from Catholicism. It has no place in Judaism, and it is a declaration for us. It's kind of like forgiveness, folks. Forgiveness is for us. It's not for anybody else. It's so we can move on. And the same thing with Kaddish. Kaddish is for the living. It is not for the dead. It is for the living. It helps keep us in tune to these things. I'd like to read it for you now. Okay, this is an Aramaic, related language to Hebrew, written with the same letters, but the grammar totally different. Okay? Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman koriv yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, li'olam li'ol me'omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran b'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlomo Rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. And this is what I just said. Exalted and hallowed be God's name in the world in which God created according to plan. May God's majesty be revealed in the days of our lifetime and the life of all Israel, speedily, imminently, to which we say, Amen. Blessed be God's name to all eternity. Blessed, praised, honored, exalted, extolled, glorified, adored, and lauded be the name of the Holy Blessed One, beyond all earthly words and songs of blessing, praise, and comfort, to which we say, Amen. May there be abundant peace from heaven and life for us and all Israel, to which we say, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. That is what I just said. Has nothing to do with death, has nothing to do with purgatory or punishment. It is a declaration of life. Now, before we go, I'm just going to give you a little information in case you want to contact me, because I'm specialize in the areas of dying, death, traumatic death, suicide, homicide. I've been in the police chaplain for many years and in hospice. I've served mostly non-Jewish people doing those things and doing their funerals and bereavement process and things like that. If you have any questions or you want to find a link for me as a consulting on any of these things, I'm available to do funeral services and end-of-life coaching for individuals and families, for Jews and for non-Jews. For a lot of times people who are unaffiliated, people who are intermarried, people who really didn't have a connection but want a pastor or minister, you can call me. You can go to my link on the Biblical Heritage Center website at www.biblicalheritage.org. I would welcome any requests to have me consult and to help you in your time of need. Please be looking for more videos and lessons to come, and we do appreciate any help you can give us at the Biblical Heritage Center to continue our work. Remember what we always say, don't let anybody tell you or sell you the truth, always get the facts. Shalom, everyone.